was not in the greatest of shape, i.e., the vehicle being chased by other available units at the time, and being told to return back with the individual was another thing. I mean, you clearly, it was you that said
Yeah, they got
to
on the
return,
chase as
right?
primary, and I told them, hey, your vehicle's damaged. I don't know if you should be in a high-speed pursuit. I'll switch you out for Rhodes so that you have an opportunity to speak with them. Rhodes, who was primary at the time, was going to go for constructive possession because at the time we knew that the possession of the goods were accessible to the passenger. So he was detained and brought down to MRPD. And the reason he was not charged was because we were still in the middle of searching for the primary suspect who had fled. Primary suspect who had fled had eventually been brought in custody. When we finally got him down to the cells, that's when he admitted and took full ownership of the possession. Because he took full ownership of the possession, at that time he was free to be let go.
Yep.
So the fact that this guy is claiming that he is offered the fair and speedy, insert whatever you want here. He was not held for any length of detainment longer than he so wished. The only time that he was told he was let go was when he asked to speak to a superior about making an internal complaint, which is where I stepped in.
He's also, I'm gonna say, he was using his gift of gab, but his gift of gab was negative 100. In all honesty.
Yeah, he could have explained that a lot better. I also think it's very interesting that for a man that was not a master mechanic at the time, told officers that the car was going to explode, whether that be true or not, which based on after I spoke with the officers, not entirely the full fucking truth.
Yeah.
Even if that was the case, he said himself he's not a master mechanic.
And I'm pretty sure also in his statement, I'd have to go recheck my notes, but I'm pretty sure in his statements, he said that the officers were trying to repair the vehicle because if they're
he
trying to
said
repair
that?
the vehicle, I'm pretty sure. I'm also pretty sure in the report it's there too from Clover and Minx. I mean, not Minx, Clover and
Desmond.
Desmond. Yeah,
That doesn't
I'm
surprise me. They both tried. They both told me that they attempted. They make a. I think good faith here is where we fall in line. A good
yeah, and
in
I'm
good
pretty
faith
sure I
attempt.
know. I'm pretty sure I know why there were issues that day.
Yeah.
But I mean, can't really fight that.
I don't
But I
want to
mean,
spoil it, but wait till you hear Clover's statement because some of the things that were said during that scene are shocking.
oh yeah, that he was on the ground screaming, "I'm going to take your job. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be rich." Shit like that.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally in the report. The judge can see that.
Yep.
I feel though, for some reason, the judge is gonna go. I feel like the judge is gonna go their side. There's got to be something we can do on our side, which I think there is. It's just
Good
pending.
faith belief, though, I think is where we need to try and focus in this case. Were the
That's where
officers?
we're.
Yeah, in a good faith belief, were the officers aware that the car had a chance of exploding? In a good faith belief in their expertise in their field, not a single time is any officer, based on our research and recollection, able to specify a specific time where a car could become detrimental in the case of it smoking.
And with what I think it was Slacks also said that it's not in your SOPs that you cannot be using that vehicle. Did he say that you shouldn't? Yes. But did he say that you should have called another car? Yes. But at the same time, it's not in your SOPs to do this kind of shit. So
Mm-hmm.
that's now going to probably be something that's going to be added. I'm guessing.
We've already said that we're going to add it regardless.
Yeah, because that is something, but at the same time, it's like it's such a reach from people like this. I'm kind of hoping that the judge, if the judge does rule in their favor, I hope it's a small amount because, in all honesty, he's not suffering that much. He
He got first degree burns.
first degree burns, yes, and he's pretty much saying, "Oh, they didn't do their best to help me." Like I'm like, these people, while the vehicle was burning, tried pulling you out instead of running away. You're saying that they did this in all bad faith, expecting to get you hurt. They did not know that they were gonna get you hurt in this situation. And just reading over the report, it's the inconsistencies in his statement, and also some of the questions that Monroe was throwing out there were just fucking wild.
Yeah. Very interesting.
I think the officers are going up next.
Oh,
but,
I want to hear this. Oh, I want to
yeah.
hear this. Let's go.
So help you, the pettiest of the gods, once again, Matt, period. I swear. All right, the witness has been sworn in, Your Honor.
You may proceed with question.
Alrighty, Officer Fields, you were on duty on January 27th, correct?
Yes.
Do you recall the incident that brought us here today?
I do.
Can you please tell the court how you and Officer Troy became involved in this incident?
Myself and Officer Troy responded to a call for backup for a traffic stop on Oshkosh Highway involving a stolen vehicle.
Alrighty, and what was the situation when you first arrived on scene?
We arrived on scene as a third vehicle. The primary officers
Howdy.
were having a
Okay,
discussion.
hi.
At the
Do you have any idea
alleged
what
stolen vehicle.
charge he's alluding to?
After some time, they came down
about
to inform
driving a
us
smoking
that
vehicle? Because
the
I'm
Reckless
not
vehicle
seeing
contained a
anything.
large quantity
Reckless
of marijuana,
endangerment is what was originally
and
brought
they
to
would
my
be
attention.
placing the suspects into custody.
Would an officer pull someone over just
So
because
to
their vehicle
confirm
is smoking?
If the vehicle's not roadworthy, we do have grounds to pull it over, right?
Sorry,
For
confirm that
example,
he was
failure
placed
to
in
signal is a
custody,
charge.
due
If
to,
someone's car is
the
damaged enough that
possession
they
and
can't signal,
constructive possession of
then yeah,
marijuana, correct?
we could pull it over and
On top of the
talk with
original
them
stolen
about.
car call, I assume. Yes.
You
Uh,
could, but I mean, would the average officer pull that over?
Me personally, no. I know
So
some officers
after you
would,
arrived on scene,
but depending
what
on how
happened
damaged the
next?
vehicle is, typically I want to see something physical
So
happen to
shortly
pull them
after,
over.
the primary officers attempted to place
Okay.
But yeah,
two
the average
men
officer I would
in
say was not pulling
custody.
someone over for failure to signal,
Uh,
unless your name
one
is
of
Matt
them
Rhodes.
Re-entered the vehicle.
True. Thank you.
Turned the
Yeah, no
vehicle
problem.
south on Great Ocean Highway and fled. Us being the closest to our cars, myself and Officer Troy, re-entered our vehicle and began to pursue the fleeing car.
What the fuck am I hearing?
And what was the status of your vehicle at that point?
Our car did have some smoke coming from the bonnet, the front of the car.
And when was the last time prior to this incident when you had your vehicle repaired?
We had previously to this incident had our car repaired at Mosley's by a mechanic.
Alrighty. And sorry, 1 second, I lost where I was. And then at that point, what happened once you returned to the initial scene?
Who leading?
It was only a matter of seconds that we were in the pursuit before a senior officer.
Based on the fact
instructed
that you
us
said you'd
to
never seen a
return to the
vehicle
main
explode
scene
before,
and essentially
would
trade
that
out
be
with the
a
officer possessing the 95.
foreseeable consequence
we
of
did
driving
so.
that vehicle, the smoking vehicle?
We arrived on scene.
Without getting too
and did a quick
specific with it, regardless of the outcome of this case,
trade,
we
I
are going to
guess,
be
with,
probably adding in
Officer
something
Rhodes,
to inform the trained
and
officer to be
judgment of
aware of,
processing
being aware
the
of that.
95,
Unfortunately, in this
suspect in
circumstance,
custody.
at the time of this explosion, this is the first case we have ever
Alrighty,
seen
and did you believe
of
your
this
vehicle
happening.
was safe
And
to drive at that
like
time?
I've stated to you before, I think the big thing to draw in
I
here
believe
is
so.
a good
Desmond
faith
had
belief.
used a repair kit on the
Mhm.
vehicle.
In a good faith belief, I don't
as
believe the
well as-
officers were aware. I mean, Desmond's here. He can tell you
Have
too.
you driven your vehicle while it was
Yeah.
smoking?
In a good faith belief,
And
Yes,
was
sir.
not under the
similar
belief that the car was going to explode.
Absolutely no explosions.
Plus, to
definitely
mention,
have
the
any smoking
witness stated himself that he was not an expert mechanic or whatever the fuck he called it, mechanic
Yeah.
at the
and
time,
while
which
you were
means
on the
he would not
scene,
have been
did
aware
the,
unless he had some prior knowledge.
plaintiff express any concern with the
Which
state of repair?
prior knowledge and expert opinion are two different things.
I
True. Very true.
can't recall as I was
Thanks.
listening to the
Yeah, not a
radio
problem.
specifically
I got you.
on scene. Down the track, he did less than 3 seconds before exploding.
Alrighty, and then after he asked this question, and after he asked this
What's up,
question,
Kiki? How
and
you doing?
noticed
Hackers,
something
what's
very
going
wrong
on?
with
Good
the
to see you.
car,
Hope you're doing
what
well. What's good?
Did you and officer? How did you and Officer Troy respond?
As soon as the car caught fire, we immediately pulled the vehicle over and proceeded to try and pull Mr. Manx from the car.
Alrighty, and then all three of you were caught up in the explosion per previous
Could I talk to you real quick?
testimony. What happened after
Yeah.
the explosion?
Oh, never mind. Hold on.
Once my ears stopped ringing, sorry, all that could be heard was Mr. Manx
This is what I wanted.
joyfully exclaiming about how he was going
Here.
to be rich, and he was telling me that he was going to take our jobs and our money. For some time, I instructed the gentleman that he had been in an explosion to conserve his energy. He replied by saying he was being fueled by adrenaline, and continued for some time to laugh and boast about his potential gainings from the situation.
Never
He
mind.
also said I
I'm
was
happy
lucky
with
to
that.
be
I didn't need
stuck
to
him.
bring that up with you.
It was strange.
Give me one moment to consult with co-counsel, Jan. Do you want me to ask, like, is she aware why they didn't charge Mr. Manx with anything?
You can. I wouldn't necessarily jump into that right now. Maybe talk more about, the detainment and, still bringing him to MRPD afterwards, and, things like that. How long he was there for, and then, yeah, we wanna make sure that it's, that we cover that, the detention and the arrest were reasonable, based on probable cause, etc.
So,
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
something else to bring up real quick. I'll make it very brief.
Yeah.
He stated on scene that a bystander ran into the fire, and the way that he explained it on the stand was essentially that it sounded like the officers let him. It might be worth asking if the officers tried to warn the bystander who was on scene as well.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Officer Fields, were there any? Let me think of how to word this so that I'm not leaving. After the explosion, did anyone approach to see if you were all right?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance?
The relevance is that it was brought up by the plaintiff in his testimony that a bystander came into the fire, and from the previous statement of testimony, we're trying to show that a level of care was taken by the officers even when they were incapacitated.
Your Honor, I don't think that the plaintiff ever disputed whether or not they tried to provide care, only that they were negligent in their actions. And on top of that, the other person's injuries have no relevance to the matter.
Huh?
Rebuttal, Your Honor. They did bring it up. Maybe counsel didn't bring that up, but the plaintiff certainly did on the stand, and therefore the scope is open, and we feel that it's relevant.
I think it's a little bit more simple than that. The witness is capable of testifying of the sequence of events immediately during, before, during, and after this incident. If they're speaking to something that happened during this incident, I find it to be relevant as it's directly related. Objection to all relevance is going to be overruled. So you may answer the question.
Yes, a bystander did approach the scene, a gentleman that I couldn't tell you the name of. As he approached the scene, myself and Troy shouted out for him to be careful as there was fire in the grass and that he should avoid the area. Unfortunately, he was incapacitated by the fire. That gentleman was also treated on scene and asked the medical professionals to just kind of help him to his feet as he wasn't feeling too bad.
Bam. Oh, did Cornwood end?
I'm sorry, 1 second. I just need to think how to word this properly.
I think that was good to bring up, based on the fact that when he originally explained it,
Following
Made it sound
your
like the officers
treatment on
just let
scene
him
by
run to the fire.
EMS and returning and being taken to the hospital.
Agreed.
Once you and your partner were upright and able to move around again, what did you all do after that?
After treatment, we remained near the bedside of the
Was good.
suspect in our
Yeah,
custody
that was good.
to make sure that he was receiving treatment.
I'm just trying to
and
cover
had
bases based on what
essentially
he
had
stated.
Yeah, something for Officer Trigger.
Yeah.
Is he shouting?
Yes, he was.
My apologies, Your Honor.
It's okay, Cap. Please continue.
It's Drake, Cap. Drake, not Trigger.
I think a lot of what
Officer,
Clover's
you-
stating, I think, is really good.
Oh, sorry.
Whether it's to be ruled in our way or not, I think it's good to just have on the record that the way that
Was it more
the
Was that the
individual
end of your
treated
answer?
it was
Sorry, yes.
Uh,
sorry.
I
shocking,
apologize.
to say the least.
Yeah.
So please continue with
It pretty much makes it. It does frame it
Following
in a good
this,
faith
Did you and your
situation.
partner
Definitely.
go down to the cells with the
All good though.
for the
Yeah,
processing
from the way
of
that
plaintiff?
everything is being said, when Desmond gets up there and
Yes,
that
ma'am.
says his
We,
stuff too,
were tasked with the
it shows that
transportation
they weren't
of this
trying to
gentleman
harm
down
him
to
or
the
anything. They were
cells to
just
await
listening
the
to
primary officers
orders, and
the other
they
suspect that was
thought
being
they were doing the
pursued.
best that they could. They were not trying to harm him.
Hmm?
Are you aware of why?
I really hope
the-
that this case can kind of be
why
used
the
to
plaintiff's,
start QI,
charges were
though. I
dropped?
know
Mhm.
some people don't like QI, but in certain situations,
The
kind of like
charges
this,
were
I
What
can
is QI
understand.
exactly? Maybe I'm not understanding.
The other occupant of the
Qualified
car,
immunity?
the driver,
Oh, qualified. Yeah.
eventually taking all
Yeah, were you thinking something
blame
else?
and,
A little bit, but I was informed the other day that qualified
ownership
immunity
of
apparently is
the
not upheld
marijuana
in
found
the
in
state of San
vehicle
Andreas.
and,
Never mind
the
then.
ownership of the stolen vehicle.
'Cause it used to be a thing.
He-
Uh,
Well, if
Sorry.
qualified immunity is not a thing, I would throw up because we couldn't do our job.
So just to clarify for my sake, he was.
I feel like
released
there
from
needs to be
custody
something set in
because he
place.
no
I-
longer
gonna be
had
honest.
I think QI would be good for this.
Correct.
Yeah, because
10-4. Oh, sorry. Sorry.
it was all good faith,
Okay.
listening to
Yes,
superiors,
he was
Hmm.
being held on
not doing
accomplice to
anything,
joyriding for the stolen vehicle and
reckless
constructive
in
possession
all
of
Thought he
honesty
went to
with
bed.
the way that he was
No,
talking.
what do you
Like,
mean?
in
The way
car,
he's framing it, he's like, yeah,
when
straight up,
his
they were
friend
doing
took
felony
complete
kind of shit.
ownership
I'm like,
and no longer
it's
had the
a
charge.
stretch. I see where they're trying to go, that
I
they were
don't think I have any
negligent,
other
but
questions, but let me consult co-counsel
they really
first.
weren't negligent. They were doing their best.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, Cornwood.
Howdy. Your Honor, while we're waiting, could I just have that last answer
So-
read back, please?
Do you know what case this is?
This is the Cloverfields explosion.
Yeah.
The last question as to why he was.
This guy
released from
claimed,
custody?
their witness
Yes, Your Honor.
claimed. He had a lot of
Yes, I have
discrepancies,
down that
but
the
when he
driver
asked
had
how long he
pled
was held in
guilty,
police
Mr. Mao in
custody,
this case had pled guilty
said
and
3 to
taken
5
private ownership
hours.
of, stolen car.
4 to
are you
5.
talking about?
4
No.
4 to
of
5.
marijuana
4 to
and
5.
4 to
the
5.
charges were dropped
It was
because
not-
Mr.
He
Pierce
was
was
held for
scot-free.
maybe 45 minutes.
Yeah, wasn't it like an hour? Yeah.
It was like a fucking hour. I don't know why, but he has so many discrepancies that don't make sense.
He's trying to throw you guys really far under the bus with these, and it's a very big fucking stretch. In all
He
honesty.
doesn't want to get anyone fired, but he wants to roast the shit out of every possible avenue that he thinks he can get at. But he's
And
lying in the process.
And he technically should have gotten perjury on one statement, but
He should have got on perjury twice.
yeah, one of them was bigger though. I'm trying to remember
yeah.
which one.
I forget.
Well, perjury for the time is literally the biggest thing. Because look, I get what it could feel like.
Yeah,
but
he even said it felt like 4 to 5, which is way different. That's speculatory versus fact.
yeah, he
Officer Fields,
he
are
straight up
you
said it was 4 to
aware,
5, and then he's
from
like, it
the
felt like it was
time
4
of
to 5.
his
So,
detainment,
brother, you're pretty much
until
like
Oh, here we
trying
go,
to
here we
his
go, here we go.
release from custody,
Yeah.
how long the plaintiff was in custody for?
When it came to my involvement, no more than an hour. Beyond that, when it came to speaking with higher officers, I'm unsure.
And are you? I've got to think of how to word this. In your professional opinion, what would have made it take that amount of time for the process?
Sophie is a
due
little
to
new
the
on criminal
ongoing
stuff,
pursuit
so
that the primary officers were involved with.
Objection,
He
Your
was
Honor.
being
Facts not in evidence. There's no time frame stipulated in the report as far as how long the detention was.
it was opened with his fucking statement.
I'm actually going to call for a sidebar with counsel, please, on this real quick.
He's gonna talk about how long it's taking.
No, I'll pull them to the side of her.
Oh,
Do you think they get mad if I walk over there?
Possibly.
Fuck. You know what's crazy though? The reason why the time frame of custody being held is even coming into fucking question is because this man just said he was held for 45 hours.
Yeah.
His gross disremembrance of why he was in custody is exactly why we're having a sidebar right now. Had he said 2 hours, this wouldn't even be a question.
I feel like also I know this is kind of a dicky thing to say, but if you can start telling people to put timestamps in their things for people,
I'm gonna have to. I mean,
The objection's going to be sustained at this time.
Oh,
what was the objection?
facts not in evidence.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, if facts are not in evidence, then
But it was
stri-
open and
can we
that
strike
will
the
be it
record
for
of
questions
his
at this time.
speculatory stance on the 45 hours?
it should be able to, but the thing is, like, it was open in scope with his statement of 4 to 5
Yeah,
hours.
judge doesn't care. Judge.
He doesn't
judge
care.
is over it.
He doesn't care how long he's been in custody.
Floor is open for cross, Mr. Monroe.
Doesn't see any relevance for it.
Just to be clear, as long as it's made aware that if he doesn't see relevancy for it, that means that his statement of 4 to 5 hours is not being.
We've heard a
used,
lot
right?
about constructive possession.
Yeah, he
Can you
specifically
articulate what
said that.
constructive possession is for the
He
court.
specifically said that nobody in this city knows how to tell time.
Yeah.
Essentially, having the
Let's just hear about constructive possession.
powering intention of legal possession and control of property, but without directly
It's
having it or having
why
it
he was
in their
detained and why he was
immediate
taken
presence.
to Mission Row.
Okay.
He was
In order
found
to be
Obi, two,
in a
thank you for the
stolen-
tier 1. I
he was
appreciate
passenger
you.
in a
You have to
stolen
have
car with an
knowledge
individual that fled
of
that
the
had
item?
weed in it, and they detained him.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Officers literally. Where's Rhodes' statement?
No.
Is it not stated that officers were aware? Hold on. Let me see.
You mentioned
No,
that
he's talking
my
about the
client was also
plaintiff's
being held
awareness.
for
Oh, okay.
accomplice to joyriding. What evidence did you have to support that?
Objection, Your Honor.
I can't hear anybody back there.
Are you whispering?
Sorry. Yes. Objection, Your Honor.
Thank you, Zombie. Appreciate you.
I'm not sure where this is going, but as you've ruled that certain things are not relevant to this case, I'm going to object here on relevance.
I mean, Your Honor, they just asked a whole lot of questions about the charges that were being pressed and everything else, and I'm just questioning the validity of that based on their statements. So we didn't bring it up; they did.
Rebuttal, Your Honor. I mean,
Sure.
she stated that they had probable cause.
We're not here to question the validity of the charges.
Yeah,
The plaintiff.
the charges are not relevant to this case. We said that initially, but we were overruled. I'm going to bring it up again that whether or not he was charged at the end does not have any bearing on whether or not they had probable cause to detain him when they did.
I'm not certain what you're seeking to gain from this, Councilor Monroe. I'm not really certain what relevance this has to the vehicle exploding and the injuries that Mr. Banks sustained. And how that's going to sway whether I find the department responsible for those injuries or not. I feel like a lot of effort is being put into everything surrounding it and not the reason that we're being brought here. I'm going to sustain the objection. Let's try and get this back on topic.
Yeah, you're right, Your Honor. I'll make it simple and sweet. Did my client warn you that the car was going to blow up?
know if it was gonna blow up. He
Directly to
wasn't
me,
on
I
a
can't tell
mechanic
you
at the
in any
fucking
other
time.
time apart from the 2 to
It was a
3
fucking
seconds before the
shit-stained
explosion,
Yes.
where he said along the lines of,
Excuse my language.
"So
but
apart from speeding down the road with a burning engine, how's your day going?" And then the car burst into flames, and we pulled it over.
Did the car blow up?
The car blew up as we approached the side of the road.
Was he inside?
yeah, the
I had just removed him from the vehicle.
Does this
So
lead
was
to
he in range of
negligence?
the explosion?
No.
that's
Is it
what
a
He was
fault
in
that
range of
happened
the
in
explosion.
vehicle? Yes.
Were
As
you in
we
range of the
Could be
explosion?
considered an accident?
Yes, sir.
yes, but
That doesn't
Was
prove
the
his
officer over
innocence.
there in range of the explosion?
there
was.
was
He
no
was helping
intent,
to remove
but
him from the
he's
vehicle.
going for reckless endangerment, all
myself.
that shit. Like,
And
he-
aren't
he
you
pushed
responsible
felonies at the
for
beginning.
anyone who's in your custody and care,
See it
officer?
right there.
Objection, badgering the witness.
Your Honor, I'm allowed to treat this witness as hostile. She is inherently hostile.
Sadly, he is.
When?
My question is pointed, but it's not the level of badger.
He
Bordering on argumentative
Wait. He's trying to push charges on the officer?
I'll
in the
tread
way that
lightly,
you
Your
phrase
Honor.
that.
he's not trying to push charges. He
May
opened
answer
it
the
to where
question, but I've got it noted
they
going
could
forward.
be charged with it.
This is very interesting.
But they're not. They're just going for punitive and fucking. They're going for the money. They just want the money, and they use the charges to kind of
Officer
make it
Fields, you may answer the question.
to where they can frame
Sorry,
it that
sorry. What was the question?
they are.
Pertaining
They
to, are
are-
you responsible for people,
feelings
individuals that
here?
are in your
Sorry again?
custody? Are you
Oh.
responsible for their
They're
custody and
culpable
care?
for it. Is the way that
Yes.
he's trying to frame it, and
Nope.
the way that like
You got anything
they
to
brought
eat?
up a
You
lot
feel
of
like
shit
you took
that
care of my
doesn't
client while he was in your
No,
custody?
let me ask around. Hold on.
and we kind of tried reining
Hey,
it in.
real quick, do either of you have food?
To the best of my ability and in good faith.
That's a big
There
old
is a vending
negatory.
machine outside in the waiting room.
Okay. There's a vending machine out in the waiting room.
Besides
I know
this
you're
incident, have you
talking
ever
about-
been involved in a car explosion?
No, sir.
You ever been shot?
Relevance?
Objection,
So
relevance.
What's the relevance to this, counselor?
Your Honor, I'm going down the state of mindset, trying to argue something that the defense has been pointing out about my client's actions and statements, and just trying to get to mindset where she could maybe relate to something that my client went through. I just asked for a little bit of leeway, and I'll make it quick, Your Honor.
It's irrelevant.
I'll defer to your judgment, Your Honor.
Norman, please.
I'm inclined to sustain.
Thank God.
I don't know what you're trying to draw on here, counselor. I
Is that broad?
think
No.
the responsibilities day to day of a police officer in this town are different than that of a citizen, and I think that the responses to such situations may be different as such. I don't think I'm going to weigh them against each
What are you
other.
thinking?
I don't think that's necessarily particularly fair.
I think this court case is stupid. I think he could
That's
be
why I
around
texted
some
you.
injury.
I wanted.
Not medicine.
I would love more people to hear how insane
Objection,
this is.
relevance.
Yeah, I haven't even been here the whole time.
It's
It's
insane.
inherently relevant.
I'm-
Here's the thing.
I'm
Why
shocked
you
that
just don't do crack.
I mean, how
he was being held for
I
constructive
was-
possession. We had.
Well, also,
we were well
joke-
aware.
Joking aside, right? Joking aside,
Mhm.
this happened on the day
Here for
that
probative
the
fact, not
toolkits
prejudice.
in the whole city were they all melted. So
None of
people's
them had the
hands were
proper
getting
tools.
stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's hands were getting stuck whenever they tried to use a
How
toolkit
long before
because
the
it's just
incident
all
did you
melted
say that
rubber
the
and
car was
shit.
repaired at?
I'm shocked this made it to court. If I'm
Yeah,
being
they
honest.
should have been thrown out.
He also perjured himself.
Just before the
He perjured himself twice.
Yeah, even outside of like
Man
the
said he had
court
second,
side
third
of
degree
things.
burns. Then his medical report he had first, and then I forget what the other perjure was, but he
Objection, relevance.
he had another
He said
perjure.
He was detained for 4 to 5 hours.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, he was detained for no longer than an hour.
I'm going to overrule that. I think
Yeah,
considering
I'm
we're
surprised
speaking
Norman
directly about
threw
the
this
state
out.
of the vehicle's repair.
I'm gonna
or
ask
just
Norman why
repair,
this ever made it to trial.
and
I know it's gonna be a rough
decide
question.
that
I'm not gonna
the
blame it on
vehicle
him, but
had
I am
no
curious to know what
just as they
he
can
saw
verify
in
the
this,
accident
regardless
felt
of how he
given
rules.
the circumstances
Well, you know
what
what?
brought us
Maybe
to that.
this is
The
gonna
objection's
set
good
the
to go.
precedent for qualified immunity.
Well, that's what was brought up already with I'm drawing a blank on his name, Aiden.
Then can I object
Behind
to
me.
asked
Oh,
and
okay.
answered?
Yeah, he
asked
brought
how,
up QI,
when it was
which is
repaired and what
good.
She said right before the incident.
believe
Yeah, I
he's-
mean,
he-
the thing
he's
is,
seeking
qualified
specifics as to how
immunity is
long or how
assumed,
much
but if we can
time
get it
it
on paper
has to
after this,
shoot.
it might be good.
Correct, Your Honor. I'm just looking for.
It would be
time
not. I
frame.
mean, listen,
understand it may be a
there
bit
could
of
be
an
QI with this,
approximation.
which is
I'm
what I
not asking
want.
her to
But
speculate. I just
what
want
I
a time
am
frame on how
shocked
long
by
before
in
they're
this
there
is that
until the time of the incident.
Fantastic. The objection's overruled. I'll hear the end.
the in good faith belief is what needs to be drilled in, and I think it has been drilled in. I think in good faith belief is what we need. Oh, sorry, Cap.
Well, I'll be honest. If you're working in good faith, you wouldn't have.
You would have known that the car was going to explode.
Well, in good faith, you wouldn't have sued because on the day that we couldn't repair our cars.
Exactly.
You know, like
Absolutely. No,
Okay.
And at
I
what
don't disagree
point in
with that. It's
time
definitely very
in that
shocking
timeline did
how
the car start smoking?
I'm not upset that this made it to court, but I'm definitely shocked it made it to court, and it's something that I do want to talk to the judge about.
Past hookies, the motorcycle club on Great
There
yeah,
were-
I mean,
There were so many limitations we had.
how
We
long was
we
the
were
car
aware of the
smoking
possession in that
before
vehicle.
its
We saw it.
eventual explosion?
Rhodes witnessed it. And in that time of witnessing it, his friend claimed ownership of it. At the time he claimed ownership, he was let go.
Gas 5 to 10.
But we couldn't let him go until we had the other person in custody, who we were still searching for at
You
the time.
regularly transport people in your care and custody in cars that are
Yeah.
smoking?
We had every legal reason to hold this guy. I'm surprised it made it this far.
If necessary.
yeah, I think. I mean, this case even making it to court is kind of wild to me because of.
Floor is open for redirect.
I mean, I'm not in charge. What I think honestly doesn't matter.
Just a
But
moment, Your Honor.
this is like the opposite of how I operate.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I mean, listen, I spoke with, Captain Slacks, and I've already told him that I think based on the circumstance, what happened that day, I don't feel inclined that the officers did anything necessarily wrong. The worst thing they did
Was drive bad.
Yeah. You could say that.
Yeah, that's just kind of how it goes.
I don't know. Let me go make sure that they're okay. I'm kind of helping out Grace right now with this, but I'm gonna go check in.
Oh,
real
you know
quick.
what? I need to call. I need to call somebody because I was I
No,
don't, I
you're
don't know
good.
if it was a thing,
You're fine.
but I want to make sure somebody didn't feel bad after something I said because I think it was misconstrued.
No, you're good. You do your thing.
Plaintiff also hasn't provided any reason why he should be awarded.
What did you want to ask?
I wanted to ask about her injuries
Please
and how
proceed
long
when
it
you're
took
ready.
them to heal. It's ridiculous, yeah. But I will just ask the other officer. That's fine.
Yeah, no, that's fine. All right, Flop, did you have something?
No. I was just stepping in. You guys are doing amazing.
Okay, we're trying. Thanks.
No further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
Okay. Officer Fields, you can step down. Thank you for.
Thank you so much.
Next witness.
You're up. I'm good.
You guys are doing great. This is a tough one to kind of have a defense for. I know from the PD side, we stand on good faith for this, but I do know from the Sorry, go ahead.
The defense would like to recall Captain Slacks.
I might have a
Captain
panic
Slacks,
attack.
You
just for
may
fun.
approach.
No. You did great. You did fine.
As a reminder, you are under.
Trust me, you're not the only one having a panic attack.
And you have been sworn into this court.
Thank you.
Oh, you
You may proceed.
I didn't realize I was being combative. I'm sorry.
Hello again, Captain Slacks.
I have resting bitch
Howdy.
voice.
It was stated prior in your initial testimony that there are charges that you could arrest someone for based on the condition of this car. Is that an accurate assessment of your prior statement?
I would say depending on the circumstances. I mean, nothing can be always black and white, right?
Agreed. Very much so. The condition of the car has been brought up multiple times that it was smoking dark smoke. You, as an officer, in your experience, would you pull over a vehicle simply because it was smoking?
I would, depending on how badly damaged the vehicle is. I mean, there's level kind of smoke from me, so just is it affecting the person's windshield to where they can't see in front of them, so they can't able to operate the vehicle? Something that could be concerned, right?
Mm-hmm. All right, but the simple act of the vehicle smoking, would that necessarily cause you to pull that vehicle over?
Objection, Your Honor. Ask and answer.
Saw that coming.
Not exactly. He said that there were various factors.
There were qualifiers added onto it. I think she's looking for a more pointed answer here. I'm going to overrule.
Come on,
You may
Slacks.
answer the question, Captain.
Come on, Slacks.
I would say depending on traffic. That would be the main concern. If there's nothing on the road, probably not. If there's vehicles in front of it, probably I'd get an assistant help try to repair it or call for a tow bed.
All right. Would you necessarily charge the driver with a felony for that?
Oh no, I mean if they comply and work with us, absolutely not.
Thank you. No further questions for direct.
That was sleek, and that was sly. Ooh,
Captain Slacks, you're looking amazing today.
that was a really good. I didn't see that coming. I was like, oh,
tired.
That was sniped. That was good.
Oh, I appreciate
Thank you.
it. I
Damn.
had a long day. Had to deal with me for a lot of it, so I apologize. I'll try to be brief. Have you arrested people for reckless driving before?
Not for reckless driving. I have not actually.
You arrested people for reckless endangerment?
Multiple times.
Would you agree that a person involved in a car explosion as a result of car damage could be, or you would have probable cause rather, or an arrest on such a person for such a charge?
Objection, speculation.
Not speculative at all. This has been established as a captain of the Los Santos Police Department.
Slacks was not there at the scene.
Can you repeat the question? I didn't hear it in full.
Sure. Captain Slacks, would you arrest someone, or would you have probable cause to arrest someone in the event that they were involved in a car explosion that resulted in injuries of occupants?
Yeah, this is a good song. I paused it by accident. What's up, Dexton? How you doing?
Can I answer?
I'm going to overrule the objection. I want to hear the answer to this because I do think that this line has been explored based on the final question asked by the defense of, would you charge the driver with a felony for that? I think this is important to explore.
Your Honor, I would like to make another objection that this is a different question than what we asked. We asked specifically about the smoking vehicle, and the counselor is asking about an explosion.
Mm-hmm. Given what's brought us here today, I find it relevant.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You
may answer the question.
Oh, well, you know what, Xavier, why don't you pull up your MDT and read me the definition of reckless endangerment?
We're not asking questions from the witness stand, Captain.
Oh, sorry. I mean, just,
I have no objection if you would like to open up the tablet and read charge for us.
I know the definition of it for what it's worth.
Can you read out loud? Is that
sure?
So
why
on the
not?
same wavelength. That's all.
Why not?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Person creates a substantial risk of serious physical injury to another person.
I may have forgot.
The accused person isn't required to intend the resulting or potential harm, but must have acted in a way that showed a disregard for the foreseeable consequences of the actions.
It's the last part where intent and what they could rate as far as what they're trying to do can depend. Sometimes things are out of their control do happen where you can't really blame that person. Or sometimes you do see this being a problem, yet you are reckless and continue to pursue and drive, and it might cause somebody else to get hurt.
Right. That charge doesn't require the intent. correct?
But it talks about creating a risk, right? So you have to be somebody who's aware of what you're doing.
A car billowing black smoke isn't a risk, Captain? Is that your testimony here today?
I'm saying it could be
Objection,
levels of it.
misstatement of testimony. That is
Well,
not the answer he gave.
I'm literally asking him for his testimony, Your Honor.
That was not the answer he
Didn't
gave to the
even swear out
previous
loud.
question.
What's that?
Nothing.
I'm definitely leading, but I'm not misstating testimony.
He's leading. The previous question was answered that a risk had to be created. Counselor Monroe is seeking to clarify and establish if a vehicle billowing smoke is creation of risk. I'm going to allow the question.
What's up, man? How you doing, Chad? I just tuned in. What cases? This is the case of the two officers that were involved in a vehicle explosion because their car was smoking.
Oh, I mean the answer. I meant the question, Captain.
One more time. What was the question?
I'll paraphrase the question because
He was so pissed that he had to come to court
Does black smoke?
because he forgot the trial was happening today. So I know he's tired. I know he's tired.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a mechanical expert, but I'd say possibly.
He walked in here and
And if that is a risk, does that give you probable cause for reckless endangerment?
I mean, I would have to speak with the individual as well, as far as what they saw and happened, and examine the scene and see what transpired.
Once again, I'm gonna step in with a point of order here. We addressed this in the sidebar. We're here to determine whether the plaintiff here is seeking damages for something that happened to him in a civil matter. Why is this relevant to Mr. Manx and why we're here today, Counselor?
Your Honor, in fairness, it's not truly relevant to why we're here today. It's more relevant to the line of questioning
Let's
they
move
were
on.
asking the cat.
Let's move on.
Not a problem. Captain Slacks, would you transport someone in a car that has billowing black smoke?
Objection asked and answered on his previous stand on the witness stand.
I believe the question was different last time, Your Honor, but if I'm fine if we want to just take that last answer.
Is this Savior
Would you
Monroe?
transport an individual in a smoking car?
This is Monroe.
Oh, this guy's.
Why
this
not?
is-
It's a
yeah,
safety hazard.
I already
It
have
could
had
happen.
a
The
complaint
vehicle could
against
break
this
down,
guy. I
catch
believe
fire.
so.
If it continues to smoke in that way, it could cause a hazard on the road. It's not safe.
Well, if you got
This has
complaints,
already
put them
been
into the bar
addressed by this
complaint.
witness
Oh,
on
I
your
already
direct
spoke to
line of
Malden
questioning,
about it a
Counselor.
long
There
time
you
ago. He
No further
was
questions?
upset that I didn't read somebody's
Redirect.
Miranda rights when I
All right.
questioned them when he was in with them. I said, and I told him, I was like, if I'm not going to inform him of his rights, you should, as his
after
defense
that line
counsel.
of questioning, Captain Slacks,
He said that was not his duty.
I asked you
Like, okay, sure.
about if you had ever
I mean, literally, my
transported
first question to
anyone
people is,
in a
did you get
smoking
your
vehicle.
Miranda
Do you
rights
recall
right,
your
T?
answer?
I don't
Your Honor, it's
honestly.
asked and answered. I mean, she's literally is asking him about. I'm not sure why it's relevant that we're asking about testimony that we already testified to in a question. It's baffling.
And what was the exact objection there?
I would say relevance and asked and answered.
All right. Well, if it's
Everyone's
if it's a
tired.
matter of asked and answered, I can certainly ask the judge to
I can refer to
reread
the
his prior
record and
testimony.
I can refer to the record when I'm in deliberation. I don't need to re-ask questions again and again.
All right. I will withdraw that.
Thank you.
Anything from you, Sophia? All right. No further questions for this witness.
All right, Captain, you can step down. Thank you so much for your time.
Of course.
We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Go and get some rest, okay?
Good luck, y'all. Have a good night.
Any further witnesses or evidence that the defense would like to highlight at this time?
Yes.
Real quick, Cap. And by real quick, I'm talking 2 minutes. Don't yell at me. Don't
Yeah.
kill me. Don't kill me. Don't kill me.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I just.
No,
You saw me battling out there, man.
I know.
Holy hell.
I know.
Holy hell.
You were all good.
How did nobody help me?
I don't know. I tried. I was there. I was trying to help out. I was trying to fight it, but
Okay.
I just simply wanted to thank you for earlier. I never like being in a room in the situation that we're in. I never want to be in that situation, but I just want to thank you for your time with that earlier in the interrogation room. That's all I wanted to say.
Of course.
It's a lot.
Of course. Yeah, no, I mean, it's not easy, Flop, what you're doing. And especially what's going on with the PD. I mean, it feels like it's in a state of emergency right now. And we're going to come together during tough times and have each other's backs and not worry about that and more about building up.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All good. We can talk more tomorrow. I'm not going to hold you any longer than Cornwood's going to hold you, it looks like. So I'll let you do your thing.
No, Cletus, Cletus, him.
Whatever happens,
Give him 5 minutes.
You're going to be a great Texas Ranger one day, Cap.
Mm-hmm.
You're a damn good
Hey, Flop, actually, I want to tell you something.
Yeah, what's up, Cap?
Hunting. A lot of people have been hunting without a license being here. A lot of folks been hunting up in the wilderness without license, and there's been a lot of robberies involving hunting too as well. So if you want to, get the car and go up there and look around and see what you can do, there's been folks trying to help out too as well.
I would love to. I saw Campbell had a report up. I want to make that sort of an effort starting. Hopefully, as soon as I wrap up some of these other investigations I'm dealing with. Tomorrow I want to talk to you about the Abilene stuff, but I'm not going to hold you to that now. That can happen tomorrow. But
sounds good.
Awesome. I will keep that in mind. You have a good night, Cap.
Have a good night and enjoy your shift.
Thank you.
All right, Flap, we'll see you.
Have a good one, Corwin. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too. Hey, hopefully we can patrol soon instead of every time
I know,
we
man.
overlap, it's
Listen,
just meetings and bullshit.
You let me know. I'm tired of the bullshit. You let me know when we can, all right?
All right, we'll see you.
All right, brother.
I'll allow an answer to the question. At this point, objection's going to be overruled.
Understood.
Do you need me to repeat the question, Officer Troy?
Yes, please.
All right. I asked you if there were any issues on your way to the backup.
Ranger
call.
things? Oh, yeah.
That's correct. We did suffer a collision with a local.
All right. And what was the result of that collision?
Our vehicle's rendered disabled to the point where I had to apply a repair kit to the vehicle.
Thank you. When you were how were you how did you remove yourself from the chase situation?
This is great, man.
In this incident and find yourself
This
back
guy here, what's the
with,
case about? The case is about Desmond and
Senior
Clover
Officer
were in.
Fought Dugong ordered us to return to the original scene of the traffic stop to switch places with Officer Matt Rhodes so that he can perform the pursuit instead of us.
That's me.
Excellent. Thank you.
I did this.
I feel bad for you, Flop. You just got thrown under the bus.
When you broke
No,
off
that's
from the
fine. Listen,
chase and
I
returned
made that
to,
call.
the original
Yeah, no,
incident,
I
and
know
what was
you
the
did.
status of
You
your
did it in good
fortune?
faith too, though,
Mm.
so it was all good.
Sure.
The status of the vehicle was that it
I
was
wouldn't mind being on the
operational.
stand I know. Listen,
Was the vehicle smoking at this
I
point?
told you, murder him,
The vehicle
murder
was
him,
smoking.
fuck him up.
Flop, please, please.
And,
No, I'm being sarcastic.
I know, but
Careful.
they can actually.
these days.
No,
they
I
can
know, I
actually-
know.
They could still hear you over there.
Can
I'm
they?
being honest.
Based
No,
on your
I
experience with
no.
CVPIs and
I acted in good faith for
them
why I
being
wanted
damaged
to
in the
go
line
back.
of duty.
Oh no, I know you
So
did.
Did you believe that it was safe to drive the vehicle?
Based on my experience and training,
as for how
yes,
this,
the vehicle is safe enough to transport the individual, Michael Banks, to MRPD.
I'm doing the best that I can, but you know.
Yeah, I feel like I know what's gonna happen with Norman because he's like, none of this really matters
mhm.
in my
Have
opinion.
you ever
Yeah, it's
had a
all good.
vehicle that
It's
was
fine.
smoking, catch on fire, or explode before?
I have personally never
Objection, Your
experienced a
Honor.
vehicle explode.
Relevance. And he answered while I was objecting
What's the objection?
to relevance, Your Honor.
Can you expand on that for me, please?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Well, I could also object to, this person not being an expert witness in mechanics unless they're trying to certify him as such. But I mean, I'm not sure why, if a car ever blew up on him before, that's relevant to this situation in which we know for sure a car did blow
Do you
up.
feel like this is bad faith RP or just how things play out
Rebuttal, Your Honor?
sometimes? I think this could have gone a different route than
the
court.
plaintiff is
I feel bad that this has
proposing
to go to
that
court,
the
but I don't
officers
think that
did,
this is in any
not
way
take
like
care and proper care
all
and
gone to
custody of
shit.
the
You know what I mean?
suspect. I think that if the officers were unable to foresee this consequence, then it bears relevance.
I also find that the large amount of the case that the plaintiff is presenting here today is based on this observation that the vehicle was smoking, being spoken to by the plaintiff as a reason that it could explode. I do find that this is relevant with the claim that's being pressed. Objection's going to be overruled.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor. Officer Troy, do you need me to repeat the question?
Please repeat the question.
Have you ever had a CVPI catch fire or explode on you before?
I have personally never witnessed a CVPI explode.
Right. Have you driven a smoking CVPI before prior to this incident?
That is correct. Yes.
I'm sorry, just a second. Were you able to observe any of Mr. Manx's injuries at the scene of the explosion?
I myself was injured from my periphery. He suffered the same injuries that I had.
All right. And what injuries were those?
Minor burns, some concussive damage. The doctor told me my big toe was cut, so I'm not too happy about that either.
All right. Thank you very much. Let me check with co-counsel.
07 big toe. 07.
Big toe.
That's his balancing toe.
You actually do.
The rest you could have cut off. Is that
Okay.
a problem?
Because that speaks to pain and suffering if he suffered similar injuries to the
only thing
plaintiff.
this part of your
Okay. Anything on you, Flop?
is that it's important.
No. I didn't know if you wanted to bring up the nature of
Pinky toe is like the least important one.
Desmond acting in good faith about the bystander after the vehicle exploded. I don't know if that wanted to be brought up with him as well, but
I think we covered it. Thanks.
okay. Yeah, all good. I think you guys are doing great.
Thank you.
Stepped on a piece of glass that fucking.
Thank you for bearing with me. One final question on direct for you. Officer Troy, how long did it take for your injuries to heal?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance?
Your Honor, we find it extremely relevant. The plaintiff is here in court today asking for monetary compensation for pain and suffering. We would just like to have a comparison.
It is kind of relevant.
It is relevant, but it's.
Your Honor, if the rebuttal.
I'm inclined to sustain the objection here. Look, two different people may heal from injuries in two different manners and capacities. I don't think this is an apt comparison to make in this.
I don't know if I call it
case.
bad faith RP though. To be clear.
To put it simply,
Somebody has any questions about the case? TLDR. Case happened because Desmond and Clover were transporting a suspect in a smoking vehicle. He went in his head. He came back, and about a couple seconds after, he stated that the car could explode. The car went up in flames. They tried to get him out, blew up. While he was on the ground, he claimed, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! I can't wait to take your job. I can't wait to, take your career. I can't wait." Clover let him know, "Sir, I need you to calm down. You've just been in an explosion." And he claimed that he was on adrenaline and he was just gonna hype up the fact that he was gonna, run it through. What was going on?
Just a quick
Oh,
recess.
sorry.
This is what 3.5 hours feels like, by the way.
You can't leave the witness stand.
You're
Get
on
back
the
up
stand.
there.
What do
You cannot talk to other people. You must stay on the stand.
Get back up
Do
there.
not, do not leave the stand.
I'm on
Your
the
bailiff
stand,
instructs
Extra
you to stay here.
All
All
right,
right,
bailiff.
wait.
All right,
Any
well,
sign of tone
I'm
up?
here.
No, not yet.
Oh, hey, I'm calm. Don't tell me to
All
relax
you had to
there,
do was
God.
tell me once. I'm a
You're gonna
very
fire me
happy
up
What am I
if you
supposed
tell
to
an Irish
do?
lass
There's
to
so much
relax.
yelling.
When I was
Okay.
calm,
Oh
one
boy.
part of me did
You
not
didn't
seem
sound too
calm.
calm to
Okay.
me.
Now
Oh,
I'm
God.
hyped.
All
Can
right.
y'all
Oh,
calm
Siobhan,
down,
Irish is
please?
showing.
You need a potato or something, Siobhan? Just kind of relax.
She actually just broke a glass in my room. Oh wait,
Aim for his toe,
In your
Siobhan.
what?
Aim for his toe.
nobody
Don't
heard
go for my
that.
toe.
In your what?
Nobody heard that.
I think he meant his glasses in this room.
Yeah, my glasses in this room.
Recovered.
I got some potato chips, Siobhan.
I'm
Can I
dead.
help you?
I'm gonna just throw this out that this
See you
is
on Red
literally
Pal.
this is Women's Month. Crazy thing, by the way. Just
Crazy,
throwing this out
Desmond.
there.
Crazy.
Just if
I
for
don't
following that, I'm gonna let
participate
people
in
know
women's
the
months.
the metal detectors did not take my food today.
I hope we are successful. But
Fucking took mine.
Wait, do the metal detectors take food?
You see
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can we
Everybody
boycott
else?
the metal detectors?
I love
Yes.
that.
Jesus Christ.
I'd rather have guns in the courtroom than not
They're
have
trying,
food.
bro. It's. I'm telling you, it's
I
big
texted
energy
you, by the way,
bars
Xavier. I
because
didn't
they
want to
fucking-
interrupt,
One
but
potato is potato juice, also known as vodka.
You're fine.
Thank you.
How you doing, my man?
I'm doing great. I texted
You've never
you.
had potato water?
Oh, did you?
Potato water's free.
I've not
No,
paid
no, no.
attention.
You were fine. You're holding your own, but I wanted to talk to you. We'll just rain check it until tomorrow.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm free after this if you want to chat.
Oh no, you're
Pussy.
fine. I'm getting
What?
cooked. I'm
Oh,
a
you're
put.
cooked.
I'm a
I'm
pussy.
still cooking.
What? You are
Yeah.
cooking.
Logging.
A logging.
LG, baby.
Also,
Oh, you don't.
your
you can't say
shoes
logging.
are
You can't say
very
logging,
shiny in
bro,
this
not
courtroom.
LG. Yeah, I have the new Skechers light ups, dude.
Dude, that's crazy. Look at they look kind of sick. I'm gonna be honest.
Logging. Yeah.
When the explosion happened, you ran out. I looked behind me and I'm like, Jesus Christ, why is there a fucking
Fuck.
It was a flashbang.
Put the L's up. Logging, bitch.
Logging.
You want our fucking turf, cuh?
That's crazy.
The community.
Freaking spin
The
the block,
community.
aka your side of the room.
Frederick
Sorry,
Frederick
I know
ruined
that
community
man
for
shot
me.
you, but I'm sorry. I had
No,
to.
no, it's okay. Listen, I'll be honest. I just saw him very recently, and he goes, hey, look, that officer is not part of the community, and I'm like, what? What did I do? You shot me. What do you mean? What the fuck? If anything, I earned my spot in the community.
Tell him he blooded you. in when
My
he shot
apologies.
you.
Hey, I got blooded in.
Good
Oh.
to proceed.
All right, hold on. Sorry.
You're good, Flop.
Floor is open for cross-examination for the witness.
I didn't ask any questions, right? No, I didn't. Okay, we're good. All right, I got this.
Freaking good, dude.
All right.
Logging.
How are we doing, Mr. Troy?
I'm doing fantastic.
Oh, he said
Samara.
log gang. I thought he meant logging, like
You were
he
in the
was
car
cutting
when
wood.
or you were in the car when it was being driven while it was smoking.
I was the driver of the vehicle. Yes, sir.
What color was the smoke coming out of it?
It was a dark smoke.
All these other times you've driven around, have you drive around normally with dark smoke and coming out your vehicle?
Can you restate the question or rephrase the question, sir?
During your earlier testimony, you mentioned you drive vehicles. I don't want to say regularly, but you drive vehicles when they're smoking. Is that
Yes,
correct?
I have experience driving CPIs whilst they're smoking.
Okay, and in those situations, are they usually billowing out black smoke?
Dark smoke, yes.
Okay. And my client warned you that he thought that there was going to be an explosion in that car?
The only warning that
Objection.
he...
Is there a question in there?
I asked, did my client warn you that there's going to be an explosion in that car?
I didn't quite hear the word "did" come from either counselor.
Yes, I didn't either.
Might
That
be
was my
fault there.
objection.
I apologize. I meant to say did if I didn't.
All right, then withdrawn. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello. How's it going?
I'm in court. I've been in court for 3.5 hours.
Oh, fuck all that.
Yeah, fuck that noise, right? Ooh, terrible, terrible, terrible. What's going on with you? How have you been?
I've been okay. How are you?
You know, I'm doing good. I've been better, but you know, PD going through PD drama, all that fun, right?
A classic.
Oh yeah, the classic PD drama never fails to continue to be.
We have
But
to go to the pink cage, Fleeka. Levi? No, pink cage. Sorry, Flop.
no, you're good. What are you up to?
Nothing. Chilling, grilling, seeking friends as per usual.
Oh,
We're gonna go hunting.
I was gonna say I'm down to go hunting at some point. I gotta get my hunting license. How much is it?
Oh, it's $1,000.
Oh,
Sure, buys
easy.
away. She can
She
do
is. I
that
saw
for
her
you.
downstairs. Actually, I'm at the courthouse. I'm gonna go get it right now.
You really should, cause some